Hello, I'm Helen with the Mon Valley Unemployed Committee, and this is a basic training in the basics of the unemployment compensation system in Pennsylvania. The Mon Valley Unemployed Committee is a nonprofit organization that has helped Pennsylvania workers navigate the unemployment compensation system for many years. This presentation is based on those years of experience, but Mon Valley Unemployed Committee benefit advocates are not UC attorneys or Pennsylvania unemployment compensation employees. Be sure to use the unemployment compensation contact information that we provide in this presentation to contact UC staff, to find the UC handbook, and to find the PA UC website, www.uc.pa.gov, for more information. So what is unemployment compensation? The Pennsylvania Unemployment Compensation, or UC, program provides temporary income for eligible employees who lose their job or have their hours reduced through no fault of their own. Both Pennsylvania employers and employees pay taxes into the program, with benefits intended to help workers meet expenses while they seek new employment. Pennsylvania workers may be eligible for UC if they were laid off by their employer or had their hours reduced, were terminated or discharged, but not because of intentional wrongdoing, voluntarily left work because of necessary and compelling reasons, such as health, safety, or significant changes in work conditions, and if they are able, available, and legally authorized to work in the U.S. Immigrants that are legally authorized to work in Pennsylvania are eligible to apply for unemployment compensation. Unemployment compensation will not affect citizenship status in any way, including eligibility of applicants for citizenship, visas, readmission to the U.S., or lawful permanent resident status, also known as a green card. For information on work authorization and documentation, you can visit the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services website. Where can you file a UC claim? There are a number of ways. If you have access to a computer and are comfortable navigating the internet, you can file a claim online at the Pennsylvania Benefits UC website, www.benefits.uc.pa.gov. To file a claim by phone, claimants can call 1-888-313-7284, Mondays to Fridays from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. The best days to be able to get through when you call are usually Thursdays and Fridays, but it often takes a good bit of persistence, so don't give up, keep calling. If, however, you're not able to get through after multiple attempts, you can email uchelp@pa.gov with the subject line, "Need help filing my claim." In the body of the email, you can provide your phone number and request a call back. When the UC Service Center calls, the number may appear to be blocked or unknown, so claimants should be sure to answer all calls after you've sent that email. If the claimants provide a cell phone number, a text will be sent prior to the call. You can also schedule an in-person appointment with Unemployment Compensation Service Center staff through the UC Connect program by calling 1-855-284-8545 Mondays through Fridays from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. So what do you need to file for unemployment? You should have ready your Social Security number, your home address, your phone number, your email address. And you should have this information about your employer: the employer's name. Sometimes it's an individual, sometimes it's a company, sometimes it's an organization. You should have their mailing address and the employer's phone number. The information about the job you need are the first and the last days of work at that job, your reason for leaving or working fewer hours, and your gross earnings. If you don't speak English, interpretation is available by phone or in person. Claimants can request an interpreter free of charge when they call the UC Service Center at 1-888-313-7284, or they can email uchelp@pa.gov and ask for an interpreter, providing the phone number for a callback. They can also ask for a conference call with an interpreter and a person of their choice, but the interpreter must be at least 18 years old. They can also schedule an in-person appointment for UC assistance at a local PA CareerLink office by calling 1-855-284-8545. That's the UC Connect program. And you then request an interpreter for the appointment. If you file online, again, you go to www.benefits.uc.pa.gov, and you click on the top right button where it says Sign In Register. You can also choose in Espanol to switch to Spanish. Claimants should absolutely remember to save their username and password after they register. It's often quite difficult to recover the username and password. When they register, or when you're doing the initial online claim filing process, you'll be directed to create an ID.me account if you haven't already done so. ID.me is a digital network that helps people prove their identity. This is to help prevent fraud. If the claimant is an immigrant legally authorized to work in the U.S., they should be sure to have their appropriate identification documents available. If the claimant tries verifying their identity using self-service and was unable to do so, they may have the option to finish verifying on a video call with a video chat agent. Interpretation will be provided upon request. Also, all the Pennsylvania CareerLink offices have an ID.me kiosk where claimants can do the process of verification there, but they will need to have the access code or the QR code, which will be provided at the time of selecting services in person. PA CareerLink may have staff to help. When claimants complete ID.me, they will be redirected back to the UC claim form. They should answer all questions to the best of their ability and double check their information before entering it. So after you file your initial claim for UC online, if you have internet access, every week, claimants must go to their UC dashboard at www.benefits.uc.pa.gov and file weekly certifications. They will be asked about their ability and availability for suitable work, part-time earnings, confirmation that they are doing work searches, and so on. They must keep filing at the website every week, even if they're waiting for a determination whether or not they're eligible, even if they have received a determination that they are not eligible, but they believe they will appeal the decision, or if the determination is already being appealed and the claimant is waiting for the hearing date. So just keep filing every week. That's the main, really important point. You can also file your weekly certifications by phone. There is the Pennsylvania teleclaim system. You will need the UC PIN that is sent after filing the initial claim. If the claimant misplaces the PIN, or if they never received it, they should contact the UC Service Center to get a new UC PIN. Claimants must call the Pennsylvania teleclaims every week at 1-888 1-255-4728 for English, or 1-877-888-8104 for Spanish. The claimant will enter their Social Security number and their UC PIN to answer the weekly work certification questions regarding their ability and availability for any work, any part-time earnings, their work searches, and so on. Another absolute must. After you file your initial claim at the UC website, you then need to go to a separate website. It's the Pennsylvania Career Link Work Registration Requirement. So even if you have registered there before, claimants will need to update their resume. They should make sure they have fully completed the process, and it's important to download and save any confirmations that you receive. If claimants don't register at the PA CareerLink website within 30 days, they will be disqualified for unemployment compensation benefits until they register. Remember that you will need to both complete your weekly certifications at the UC website and also do weekly job searches throughout the duration of your claim. And it's very important to keep documentation of your work searches. So you can do them at the CareerLink website, or you can do it on LinkedIn. You can do it through the other online sources. Just make sure to document that you've done your work searches and where you apply, any inquiries you send out, and so on. So after you file your claim at the UC website or in person or over the phone, there is a period of time where the Unemployment Compensation Service Center investigates whether or not you are eligible for unemployment compensation. So the first step is a financial determination that's based on wages and weeks that have been worked in the base year. Generally, a financial determination will be issued within a week or two and will include a projected weekly benefit amount. But the claimant must also be determined to be eligible based on the reason of separation. The separation determination process usually takes about 4 to 8 weeks. Benefits will not be awarded until after that separation determination process is complete. If you think that the first determination, the financial determination, seems to be incorrect, if wages seem to be missing, or if an employer is not listed in the financial determination, claimants may file a wage protest without a referee hearing or a formal appeal, no later than 21 calendar days after the mail date on the determination. Log in at the UC dashboard, go to the Unemployment Services section, and then select File a Wage Protest. Claimants should upload proof of earnings, such as W-2s and pay stubs for the relevant period. After review, the UC Service Center will issue a new financial determination with an explanation of what they found. If the claimant disagrees with the results of the wage protest, they have another 21-day period in which they can file an appeal. So for the separation determinations, there are common types of separation. This presentation doesn't cover them all, but these are some of the main ones. So a very common form of separation is a layoff. That's an elimination of a position due to the employer's lack of work to offer, a lack of employer funds, or because of an employer reorganization. Layoffs may be temporary, seasonal, or permanent. Sometimes the employer will not call the separation a layoff, but a, quote, furlough, a position elimination, or reduction of work hours to 0. Claimants should be sure to collect and submit all information they are provided by their employer regarding their layoff or reduction of hours. If a claimant can document a definite return to work date, they do not have to perform work searches. But if they do not have a documented date to return to work date, they must perform work searches. Another very common form of separation is a termination or discharge. That means that the employer ended the claimant's employment for what they considered to be cause. For UC benefits to be denied to claimants, to employees, employers have the burden of proof to show that the claimant was terminated for willful misconduct and or for deliberate violation of company policies. So important things to remember are that unintentional mistakes or the inability to perform tasks are not misconduct. So under Pennsylvania law, the employer has the right to fire you, but claimants can share testimony and evidence that they did their job to the best of their ability. Again, it's the burden of proof to show that you willfully did something wrong. Claimants can present or upload company policy documents to show that the conduct for which they were terminated is not an official policy violation. They can present evidence that the employer did not follow their own policies regarding progressive disciplinary procedures, such as a series of warnings or counseling before termination. Referees often consider that as they make their rulings in appeal hearings. Finally, tardiness or absenteeism due to health or other valid reasons may not be misconduct. Claimants can present evidence to show that they followed the employer's policies regarding timely communications and documentations of reasons for absences or tardiness. Another major type of separation is resignation. That means that the claimant voluntarily ended their employment. To be eligible for unemployment compensation, claimants have the burden of proof to show necessary reasons to quit, such as evidence that shows that it made it hard to continue the job, such as medical conditions. Apologies. So documentation of medical conditions is important. If you just assert that you're sick, that is often harder. That often does not meet the burden of proof. So if you have any kind of documentation from your doctors or forms, that will be important. And it will be important to show that that medical condition made it hard to do that job, but you also have to be able and available for other types of work. You can also show evidence of significant changes in work conditions from the time of hire, such as a changed schedule, a work location, responsibilities, pay, benefits, and so on. You can also testify or show evidence of unhealthy or unsafe conditions at the workplace. You can show evidence of ethical or professional standard violations by the employer. Claimants can also provide evidence that they had transportation problems that made it difficult to reach that workplace, such as bus route changes, a car accident or loss of a car, and so on. Claimants can also show the need to care for family members, such as a sick relative, or to stay home with children if daycare is not available. To be eligible for unemployment compensation, claimants must also show that they made reasonable efforts to communicate their concerns or their barriers to managers and other employer representatives, and that they asked for changes or accommodations to keep their job that they were then not provided. So what is evidence of eligibility? The UC Service Center may interview both claimants and employers, send fact-finding forms, and review available evidence that the claimant and employers submit to determine your separation eligibility. If the UC Service Center calls you, if you get a call from any UC staff, it's very important to call back or to respond to emails and fact-finding forms that may be sent to you through your online message board. So you can assemble evidence to be ready or upload it or send it by email. It's very useful to have a timeline of relevant events, meetings, conditions, and communications regarding the causes of separation. Documents such as company policies, contracts, medical documentation, letters, emails, memos, app messages, disciplinary forms, texts, pay stubs, sheets, safety checklists, photos, etc. It's also very important when soon after the separation, while your memory is fresh, to assemble a list of names and positions of those involved in the situation which led to the separation. Claimants may wish to contact first-hand witnesses that would be willing to testify to incidents and communications relevant to the separation in case they need to appeal a separation determination. When you receive a determination, you have 21 calendar days after the date on the determination notice to appeal. An appeal hearing will be scheduled at which the claimant can present the types of evidence listed in the previous slides to show that the determination was either based on UC Service Center error or it was based on misrepresentation of the facts by the employer, witnesses, or employer representatives. To file an appeal on the UC online dashboard, claimants can go to the website and go down to the section titled Unemployment Services, and then click on More Unemployment Services. On the next page, claimants can click on the gavel icon immediately above Appeals. Other ways to file an appeal include by fax, using the number that you find on the determination notice, by mailing the petition for appeal in the determination letter to Mail Processing Unit, 651 Boaz Street, spelled B-O-A-S, 5th floor, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, 17121. You can file by email at ucappeals@pa.gov, or you can file in person by delivering a petition for appeal or an appeal letter to a Pennsylvania CareerLink office. You need to make sure to include your social security number or your ID number, your address, the determination date, and the reason for the appeal. If claimants need an interpreter, they should request one at the time of the appeal or when they receive the hearing notice. The interpreter is a free service that the department provides. Claimants cannot bring their own interpreter. The appeal will be assigned a number and forwarded to a UC referee. The referee will send all parties a notice of hearing with hearing time and place, the issues to be decided, and the parties involved. Claimants or their representatives should gather any relevant documents and invite witnesses to testify as soon as possible, even if they don't have an appeal date yet. It really helps to talk to witnesses while memories are still fresh. It's also important to understand that if you have witnesses, they can't just write a letter. They need to be present at the appeal hearing, either in person or by telephone, to authenticate any letters or written documents, emails and texts and so on in the appeal hearing. For more information about unemployment compensation, You can go to the Pennsylvania Unemployment Compensation website at www.uc.pa.gov. There is the option for translation into a variety of languages using the translate button at the top right corner, where you select your preferred language. You can also find wonderful information provided by another nonprofit organization in Philadelphia, the Philadelphia Legal Assistance PLA website, uchelp.org. And then you can also find more information at our website, including a web page, UC Guidance Resources. And those are PDFs that you can also download and print out. That website is monvalley-UC-guidance-resources/. You can also find more information at the main page, monvalleyunemployed.org. And you can find our contact information at the bottom of that page. So we have a mailing address, but we don't at this point have an office where you can come, but you can call 412-462-9962 or email info@monvalleyunemployed.org. So I hope that this training has been useful for you. If you do have questions, again, please do call the number 412-462-9962 or visit the website monvalleyunemployed.org. Thank you so much.